Hello! So, before I begin, I want to have a full disclosure here. In this video, I will be talking about women's health and women's issues. So, if you're not comfortable with hearing about that, I would exit the video now and go watch something else. Okay. So, I'm not on the right page of my cheat book. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. So, in this video, I want to talk about the Red Cardinal, Shark Week, the Crimson Tide, my visit, my friend, my Aunt Flo. I want to talk about periods. Do you ever find yourself just getting like really upset and really emotional and irritated, and you just don't really know why? Like anything could set you off. Like someone who's just talking too cheerfully, or someone's just breathing too loudly, and you just get the impulse to just like stab them with a spork. Okay? Like you're just like, you're really angry and irritated and you don't know why. Normally you're really peaceful, elegant Disney princess who would never want to hurt anyone ever, but for some reason it's like you've transformed into like some kind of like demon. Okay, so sure you've all been there. You don't really know why you feel this way or why this is going on, and you want to cry over everything. I mean, you accidentally like step on an ant outside and you have like a freaking meltdown and feel like Hitler because you stepped on an ant, right? Okay, so I mean, you kind of feel like you're enduring some kind of temporary paranoid psychosis. You feel like everyone hates you. You feel like you've let your family down. You might feel like your partner, I'm going to say partner because people might be gay, your partner seems distant and like they hate you and like all these like crazy like thoughts and stuff. And you feel like you lost your mind. Well, you haven't. You're probably just experiencing PMS or PMDD, which can vary from person to person. What I hate the most is when you're really upset about something and someone says, "Oh, you probably just have your period," or "Oh, you're just on your period," or like something like that, or they completely like disregard your feelings as being valid and just attribute it to menses. And I mean, it might be partially from that, but you shouldn't be completely discredited or ignored. Your feelings shouldn't be ignored just because of that. But do keep in mind that your feelings might be intensified from it. Sorry, I'm just like really distracted from the person talking to themselves in the next room. Okay, what I like to do is I keep track of it on a calendar and I highlight the 2 weeks before so that I know any weird thoughts or feelings I have in that time are most likely hormonal. A lot of the time I tell myself that my feelings are fake, which might seem oh my god, shut up. I'm not hearing voices. I just live with somebody who talks to themselves. Yeah, okay. This is like the worst video I've ever made. Moving on to the actual period part. Oh my god. Cramps. Am I right? Cramps. They hurt so much. It's like you're pregnant with a demon baby who's chewing on your uterus and consuming your insides and tugging at your ovaries. It's like you have this huge swollen knot inside of your body pulsating with pain. Sometimes your hips can hurt, your sides can hurt. You get increased anxiety, you can get a migraine, you bloat, you have a stomachache. I get morning sickness from my hormones. I literally throw up from my period like a pregnant pregnant woman, person. um, the amount of estrogen you have in your body can affect your cramps. I have too much estrogen, so my cramps are like severe. And they're exhausting. They're more like contractions, like labor pain. For my cramps, I used to take ibuprofen. Now I'm trying Advil liquid gels because they're supposed to work faster. And at first they work, but for my really, really, really bad cramps, they don't work. So I take some stronger medication that's been prescribed to me. And even then, sometimes that doesn't work. Some things I use to cope is a heating pad, baths, 448 breathing, sleeping. Something I really hate is when I'm sick from my period and I have to go to work. And I only get so many sick days where I work, so I like have to go. So I basically get up early and try to cope as best as I can and get some pain medicine in me and just deal with it. I'd say the emotional aspect of it all is probably the hardest for me because it's like I have to ignore everything for 2 weeks, all the horrible thoughts I have and all the feelings I have. Like, I wish I didn't have them at all, but it's just because my hormones are crazy in my body. As soon as that's over with, I experience emotional relief. Then physical symptoms set in, which is total, complete hell. I bleed too much. I have a disease, hemochromatosis, where you're supposed to have too much iron in your blood. It's genetic. Not hemophilia, hemochromatosis. I actually am anemic from my periods because I bleed too much. I have a vitamin D deficiency and other problems. So I'm also very tired and very exhausted, not only from the pain, but from the actual period itself. So that's hard as well. So for that, this doesn't sound very healthy, but I try to eat healthier and I drink energy drinks, which is probably really bad. I don't like tampons. I have trouble using them. Like, I don't know. I just use pads because tampons are like too hard to use, and too hard to change them. Also, I've heard some things about them being really bad for your body. I have went to the doctor for these problems. I had a pelvic exam and an ultrasound, which was very awkward and painful, and they found nothing. They said everything was fine. And they just suggested that I go on birth control, but I don't want to take birth control because it makes me feel weird. I don't know how to explain that. It gives me acne. You're supposed to get rid of your acne. It gives me acne. Kind kind of makes me forget about sex. Like, I don't even think about sex. Like, I don't know. I've heard weird things like blood clots and other issues. I've looked into Depo-Provera shots. They can make you gain a lot of weight and affect you cognitively in your brain. And I already have enough mental health issues. I don't need anything else contributing to that. IUDs can become dislodged and damage your uterus or get lost inside of you, and that sounds a little scary to me. I just kind of feel like I have no options at all. All I can do is keep track of it all on a calendar and cope as best as I can. It's emotional hell, it's physical pain. I actually get 2 periods a month because I bleed when I ovulate, which makes sense because when you ovulate, you have internal bleeding, but I actually get like a second mini period. I get like a really bad backache, not really a backache, it's my hip. Inflammation from my uterus causes my hip to get misaligned. So it feels like my back has went out, but really my hip is misaligned. And I have to go to a chiropractor and get that fixed. Luckily, that hasn't happened lately because I try to really take it easy and take anti-inflammatory drugs and use an ice pack on my hip. It's just this huge struggle. And I think we all sort of have different, I want to say different struggles with this because it's different for everybody. When you're a young girl, you know, you learn about periods and having babies and all that stuff, and they don't really tell you the health issues, the chronic health issues that will come with that. I don't know. I just feel like there should be more awareness. I feel like there should be more options. I feel like you shouldn't go to the doctor and they shouldn't just hand you a pack of birth control. I think there needs to be more than that. I don't know. This is probably the worst video I've ever made because I was really distracted the whole time and I didn't have a set script. And I'm kind of tired, but I don't know. It was basically my first ranting video. I hope someone could relate to this maybe. Well, I'm sorry if you do relate, but yeah, just leave me a comment maybe about what you have the most trouble with or how you cope with having a period. If you're a guy and you watch this whole video, kudos to you. I'm sorry if you got grossed out, but maybe it can sort of help you gain an understanding for what women go through. Yeah. Fuck periods.